Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Do not watch this video if you haven't caught up with this week's episode of Game of Wool. The person being cast off is... Welcome back to Game of Wool, the cast-off, right here in the Haberdashery of Dreams, where I catch up with the latest knitter to leave our competition. Let's get knitting and crocheting.
I'm so excited!
It was Icons Week.
We would like it to be something that's iconic to you. It's inspired by David Bowie.
Freddie Mercury.
What could be more iconic than a unicorn?
We had the 80s jumpers.
Totally 80s.
We can do this, ladies, we can do this.
And we had the dog jumpers.
I think you've embodied Bowie in that head. I always cry when I see something beautiful.
And this week, I am joined by the amazingly, incredibly talented Meadow. You should be really, really proud of everything that you've done here. I mean, having you in the competition has been absolutely amazing. Where for you did you feel like it started to unravel a little bit?
I think with the jumper, I definitely took on a bit too much for that intarsia. The time pressure on the challenge really got to me, and then trying to take on a new technique as well. It all came together and just didn't work for me.
It was so amazing to me to learn that you weren't a particularly strong knitter before coming into this competition. No. I know crochet was your main thing. Yeah. And when you said to me that you had never done colour work before and you had never really done that much knitting, but to see your level and skill in knitting that quickly was pretty impressive. Like, how long did it take you to learn?
Well, I've always been able to do like my purl and my garter stitch and make scarves. That's basically it until I found out I was going on the competition, and that's when I started properly learning how to knit. I'd never knit a garment or anything up until then, so pretty much.
And then to go into that pressure cooker of an environment in the yarn barn, where normally, you know, knitting and crochet is a way to switch off and kind of be very mindful and present, but with the time pressure, how was that for you to have to learn to design, knit, crochet and be in that pressure of the time?
I've been quite used to working under pressure because I do knitting a lot as my coursework. I'm always working to deadlines and doing things for my own business as well. I'm always doing orders and things and working to briefs and completing them on deadlines, but that was like another level of that. It was just crazy.
What are some of the things that you learned from your time on Game of Wool?
I just learned so much in general about knitting because I've never really been around other knitters before, so seeing all the different wee things that everyone does. And
have you actually ever spent any time, you're saying you haven't really been around many knitters, do you have like a group of knitters back home or crocheters that you spend time with?
No, I'm pretty much the only person.
Really?
Yeah, my granny, she would knit and stuff, but that's as far as it goes.
I mean, it's amazing because you were the youngest competitor and you applied just as you turned 18, which is an incredible thing to be like, you know what, I'm 18 years old, I want to come on a show and prove that anybody can apply, and no matter your age, there's nothing holding you back. How important was it for you to apply for the show?
So important. I felt like everything had built up to this point and that I was just given this opportunity to just go for it and put myself out there, and it was incredible.
What are some of the things that you've learned from the competition that you're going to take away and be able to apply to the next few weeks, months, years in your knitting and crochet career?
I think just the general skills I built in myself to come over here and do this. Like, I've never travelled on my own before. I learned how to do that. I learned about staying away on my own, and it's given me so many skills and such independence, and then working and knitting on top of that, it's been really good for me.
With all of the stuff that you've had in this competition, where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, what's next for Meadow?
I'm going over to study knitwear design for my degree in London, so that's the next thing for me. And then the plan is to hopefully have my own business after that and work as a designer.
I am so excited for everything that you have to come, because the way that you're able to design things and the creativity that you have and the way that you look at things, is so I love it. I'm all about your aesthetic with the colour and the textures, and the way that you just throw yourself at a challenge has been so refreshing to see, and I can't wait to see what you create next.
Thank you.
Now, one question I always want to finish our cast-off sessions with is, what is one piece of advice that you would give to any knitter or crocheter out there, beginner or not?
I think to just give everything your best go. I started crocheting and I just pretty much went all into it and it became my thing, and I've put so much work into it. Yeah, it's always about putting yourself out there and getting as much experience as you can.
It's also one of those things that putting yourself out there also allows you to learn new things as well, because it's like, no matter how long you've been knitting or crocheting for, you will always learn something new.
There's always something to learn. Like, let's even come in here, like all the different types of knitting and things I haven't heard of before, and all the different wee things. It was just so amazing to learn. And I wouldn't have done that if I hadn't have put myself out there and applied. Well,
I'm so excited to see what more you learn when you go to university, and you'll be able to go through all of that stuff. And, you know, I hope one day that we can work together, because I mean it when I said that earlier. I think it would be so much fun to do something together, because your aesthetic really matches what I like to make. So I can't wait to see what happens for Meadow in the future. Or join us next week for another episode of The Cast Off. We look forward to seeing you then.